after being pecked by a radioactive bird, a somewhat mannered Tuthill was compelled to become Phineas, the Skydude. That's right, that's me, Phineas the Skydude. All right, good morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you might be in time and space itself. All right, so I want to show you the JETSON today. Okay. The first thing I'd like to show you is I want to fly in Africa. They said there's a lot of animals to see. I took it out earlier. I didn't see any animals at all. It might be one of those you have to be in the photography mode. I don't know. Sometimes animals show up, sometimes they don't. We're supposed to be, there's a park in Africa. We're supposed to have all kinds of wildlife. And let me show you this trick before we get going and in the setup of the JETSON. So let's say we do want to go to KRUGER Park here, National Park, right? You click the pin in Bing Maps or Google, right click, you usually get a coordinates, right? Copy the coordinate location. Okay. Come back here in Microsoft Flight Simulator, go to your departure and paste that. Control V, right? And then it'll convert it to a proper coordinates for the simulator. Click that. And there you go. You can just search it. If I would have searched the name of this place, I probably would have found this heliport nearby. But if there's no place near it where you're trying to check out in the world, that's a great way to get to where you need to be. Okay. I'm going to try to set us up at a place maybe less grassy to start with. The whole place is probably grassy. But let me set that as our departure and we'll get going here. Okay, actually, well, let me spawn in and then we'll look at the controls. So if Microsoft does not set you up with a JETSON control option, you're going to want to set your own. Oh, I got us flying at night. I don't want to do that. Well, maybe. Be fun. I crash into a lot of things, though. Make it a little bit earlier in the morning. Okay. So if they don't set you up with a controller set up for your JETSON, you're going to want to come in here into your settings. And you're going to want to go on to controls, right? And you see where it says general controls here, and then other controls, and then specific one controls. If you don't have a JETSON or see a JETSON there, you might want to click this little cogwheel and go to duplicate. Okay. And create another profile and then rename it to JETSON. And same with this one. You'll also be prompted if you just suddenly start changing things, it might ask you, do you want to create another profile? Yeah, I want to create one called JETSON. Okay. All right. So on your joystick, they had me set up with all kinds of weird controls. Okay. I like using my hat on the joystick for my look around, right? So they initially had these like quick views and everything else. So this is a great way to find out what's already tied to an input. So go to search by input, click a button or move your hat. I'm pushing up on the POV, right? This is the one I want and the one I set. If they've given you something you don't want, click the cogwheel over here, find the check mark one for joystick up, and deselect it. So, for example, let's say we were going to try to use that for some trim. toggle aileron trim, right? So I came in here and I set this and I pushed up on my POV hat stick, go back and save it. All right, well now it's going to conflict or do something really weird when I push up on the hat stick. So search by input, push up, and now you see it. Toggle aileron trim. Click the cogwheel, come over here to this side panel, deselect it, go back, save it, and it's no longer there. Okay. All right. Your general flight control are pretty much the same. You want to push forward with your X and tilt with your Y, and you want to use your sidewinder twist. Okay, so my elevator axis is joystick Y. Aileron axis X. And my rudder axis is set to Z. Okay. And that's really all you need to do there. I recommend the following. You might want to assign a button to each of these, okay? You don't have to, but you might want to control things a little bit differently. So I use my trigger button to lift up the nose and apply elevator up, pitch up. Okay. And I use my thumb button to apply a bit of elevator down pitch. Okay. Another button I think you're going to want, it's going to help a lot. It is automatically toggling your joystick to 50%, your throttle to 50%. Okay. So when you're flying around, you're trying to get just the exact height that you want. It's usually setting the throttle exactly at 50%. If you don't have some sort of feature that enables you to just nail 50% on your throttle, you're going to want to assign a button to that somewhere on a button or keyboard. And I've got this to a button on my joystick to set throttle at 50%. All right. So again, when I'm using the throttle to go up and down, when I'm at the height I want to go, I'll click that button and it kind of locks you in right there at the altitude that you want. All right. A button in your cockpit that has there's no way to set this to a controller option or a button at the moment. And you have to press it in the cockpit itself. And that is the this cruise button right here. Right? It's on it's this joystick on your right side, and it's cruise mode. Again, there's no way to assign this in the controls as of yet. I don't know why. But you have to press this once or twice to select it or deselect it. Okay? To start the thing, you just need to come over here and push this button that says arm motors. I think if you take this thing out and like the kill switch, you freak out, pull this. There you go. It pulls that cord out, breaks the connection between things. Okay. Put it back. Arm. This doesn't have any fancy recharge and refuel, so if you set your toggle to repair and refuel, it doesn't do anything. You actually have to click the bar here. Recharge battery shortcut. So if you're low, just click that. I know it's cheating. Okay. I thought that it would do a recharge kind of the way the Archer and Joby does. You have to toggle the recharge on and set recharge. And then, when you turn on your recharge, you get an external battery that shows up, a generator, and it shows you the cords that are hooked to it. No such thing with this in a simulator here. So it's not going to throw out a generator or hook you up at all. Just press that button or that area on the screen in front of you to recharge. But I thought earlier that it might, right? And I thought, well, I'll come back to camp and we'll set it up. Either way, we're in Africa. Might as well set up a little bit of a camp anyway. I've got my CAMPOUT utility. Let's throw out a canopy. Get some shade under. Put that right next to our aircraft here. But yeah, after we get going a little bit, I'll tell you a little bit about the Joby company. Okay, turn it to face us a little bit. All right. Grab a chair. Out camp folding chair. Let's make it red. Look at that. Should put it under our canopy. Right? Sure enough. Even got a holder for your beer. All right, but one of the most important, I think, things you should set down if you're setting up camping, and you don't want to forget where you're at, set up a smoke canister. Right? And you can set the color. Red is pretty easy to spot. We can set it green. And this really helps you a lot finding your camp again. Okay. So now it's just a matter of using your throttle and your basic control. So let me just start throttling up a little bit. It does not have an auto assist for the landing. You got to be careful. I mean, I'm going to go ahead and turn it all the way down, turn it off. And she came down pretty smooth. Be careful, though. Now I'm going to throw it back off. Okay. So that's just throwing the throttle forward and then throwing it all the way back and letting it descend. All right, now the 50% button. Let's say, let me start getting up in the air. Let's say I want to remain just above the treetops and I don't want to climb any higher. I'm going to hit that button for 50%. That should hold me right there, altitude-wise. Might be a little phantom activity in the joystick. You can set dead zones. Show you how to do that. If you find that when you take off, if you're not mostly stable and your joystick has become configured weird or it's old like mine, come to your controls, go to your joystick and click the cogwheel next to your joystick here. Okay. Go to hardware settings. Right? See, I've added some dead space in there because my joystick's old and it can wobble around. And then if I'm twisting or turning sometimes or pushing forwards or backwards, I can, actually input some activity that I don't want. Same with Y. So when I'm twisting, I don't, that kind of action right there can induce. So I'm adding a little bit of dead zone. We had dead zone this way. Sliding the neutral will slide it left or right. You might have a joystick that's a little bit wonky and it leans to one side a little bit. You can move that around. You can change sensitivities. So sensitive. All right, let me lower the dead zone. Now, extreme dead zone is at the upper end and lower end of the input. So if I start inputting a little bit of extremity dead zone, that prevents any activity out there at those ends. So a little bit of dead zone there. Got some good dead zone there. Looks like I'm pretty shifted over. So when I move up and down, I might get see how when I'm pushing forward on my joystick, it can kind of climb that, kind of climbing up a little bit. I might want a little bit more dead zone in here, and I might want to move my neutral for just a bit. Okay, so by setting all those, you can, again, try to fine-tune out any noise, or they call it phantom movement, or vibrations. You know, you might be moving, you might have a loose desk. You move your desk around, your joystick's flopping around, and okay, so again, we're pretty stable. Now, I have those two buttons set up for pitching the nose forward a little bit and pitching it up. It doesn't lock it in place, though. I haven't figured out how to make it lockable. But let me press the trigger button to lower the nose a little bit. Okay, that was just one click. So you see that now we're just moving very slowly forward. Now if I press my trigger button to raise the nose up one, that should neutralize it again. Give it a moment. Sometimes the powers are not equal. Why? I don't know. It doesn't cancel it out. Let me click the trigger button one more time. So you'll have to, and you can go in there and you can actually fine-tune the increment and the power of each button push, and I might have to. There's 3 pushes, 3 clicks of the trigger. And that pretty much neutralized it there. So you can control, let me go ahead and push the nose down again one time. Okay, we're starting to get going. I'm going to push it down another time. Trigger button. See if that gives us any more. It'll only go down so far. I've tried even just shoving the joystick all the way forward. I want maximum speed, and I can't. It seems to have some sort of safety feature. So if I shove the nose down, it's like that's as far as I can go. And then you'll see the nose coming back up. I can't get any more downward. I've got the joystick all the way full forward, and I can't get it to descend any further than that. I don't know if there's tolerances you can set or safety features. I don't think so. I think that's a built-in safety feature, so you don't kill yourself. Let go. I'm letting go of the joystick, and again, let me just keep pressing the trigger button to see how far we can get the nose to go down. About right there. Okay, there are 3 speed modes, and I think these are just for cruise. I'm not entirely certain yet, but see this lever right here? It's got a little knob you can twist. Flight mode switch. I think 1 is slowest, 2 is more aggressive, because you see the nose tip down a little bit. And I think that's supposed to be a little bit more sporty speed. Let me push it forward one more time and watch the nose drop. So we're going to 3 right now. So you see the nose drop a tiny bit. So I think 3 is like super sport mode. Might give you another mile or so. This thing's supposed to do like 100 miles an hour. Doesn't feel it though. But hey, look, there's some animals. Wow, very nice. Put this back to 1, and let me click the trigger button a couple of times to cancel the nose down. There is no way to do a reset. Why they don't have it, I don't know. An elevator reset button. So now I just kind of gotta hold it and click it until it feels like it's canceling out. There we go. What is that over there? Those look almost like horses. We've got unicorns in Africa. There's white horses. There were some elephants over here. Somewhere behind us. Whoa. That's applying the side stick, the sidewinder rudder. You can strafe, tilt over and then twist, strafe and turn. Okay, let me start lowering the throttle. Let's come back down and see if we can. There they are. So Gene Simmons was hanging out with these people, the creators of this thing, yesterday or this week. He posted it on X, Twitter, that he was hanging out with them. No pictures of him inside of it, flying the thing. Doesn't seem like it holds a lot of weight. So if you're a really big person, I don't know. I think they're like, the lift capacity is 86 kilograms. What is that? Doesn't sound like a lot to me. In hover mode, if all I do is just push forward a little bit, she'll start flying forward. And then if I let go, she goes back to neutral. Add a little power to go up a little bit. 50% throttle to hold. Pushing forward. I think that's an elephant. Elephants or rhinos. Let's find out. The noise of the propellers. It is much more noisy than this. I have the sound of engines turned down 50% about. So you're gonna need some earplugs, and that's why the critters are running away from us. Okay, cruise. So you don't want to finagle with nose up, nose down, nothing like that. You just want to go. Okay? This is where the cruise button comes in. Right now we're set to flight mode 1. And I'll press cruise one time. Okay? It does feel pretty zippy. Usually if you move your joystick around too hard, you can break the cruise. It can break out of it. But if you do just subtle movement while in cruise, it shouldn't disrupt it. So you can go up and down. So I'm still in cruise, and now I'm just messing with my throttle. So she's holding cruise. All right. Now let's see if we get any more. There's no readout on our speed. I don't think so. Which we really do need, because then I can test this one way or the other. Let me move this into 2. So the nose dropped a little bit. So theoretically we should be going faster. Same thing, putting it into 3. Push the nose down a little bit. Pulling the throttle all the way out. Come down. See if we can see our smoke. Should have made it red. Maybe green wasn't the smartest thing to do. Somebody's got a house down there. A couple of houses. Radio tower. I wonder if I can change my smoke color from here. No. I could not see my smoke. Oh well. All right. Is there anything else to go over? I don't think so. I think that's pretty much it. Again, recharging your battery. Click. We're recharged. Let me turn off the cruise. And get my hand on the throttle. See if we can have a little bit of fun here. Oh, you absolutely can crash into these trees. Did a whole lot of crashing earlier. Oh, you didn't even crash in the water. I wish they would, well, I haven't checked, but they haven't, last I checked, they hadn't brought over the Dune ornithopter into 2024. You can only use it with 2020. And that's a real shame. The ornithopter is so much fun to fly. All right, let me set 50%. That should keep it right there. And now push forward. So she's pretty high performance. Whoa. Now I'm just flying around like a fool, just trying to see what kind of extreme activity I can get. Twisting and turning. And again, going up and down with the throttle. Now, who would use this? I think anybody just for fun, you know. Only got like a 20-minute battery. Now, I don't know how long it takes to recharge, so, you know, it's definitely a very expensive toy. It's a very expensive toy, like $146,000 or more. You know who bought the first one? Palmer Luckey of Ntnl and Oculus. Yeah, he bought one. I bet he bought a bunch of recharge batteries. I don't know where the battery is. Again, how long it takes, but only 20 minutes at a time. But that's just today. You know, one of these days they'll have better and better and better batteries, longer and longer lifespan. But again, for the performance that you get out of the thing for a 20-minute span, it's pretty incredible. But again, I think that depends on how much you weigh too. And she does auto shut off like the Archer does as soon as you touch down. All right. Ooh, you know what I forgot to do? Look over and see. I forgot to say hello again to fix my car. Sorry about yesterday. The microphone was out. And I haven't checked to see if anybody's chatting, saying hello. Howdy, howdy. Howdy, howdy. All right. So the JETSON, let me make sure this is showing up here. Good. JETSON. Precision, agility, and fun, freestyle flight, and personal aerial mobility. Experience the JETSON won in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. That's right. Go back to the top here. Welcome to JETSON. JETSON's pioneering eVTOL company with a mission to change the way we travel. We aim to make the skies available for everyone with our safe personal electric aerial vehicle. You know, I would say mostly, and I know that's not good advertising to say, well, we aim to make the skies available for everyone with our mostly safe personal electric vehicle. I don't think that's going to be safe to anybody standing near you or around you. I don't think that's going to be safe for wildlife you might encounter. I don't think it's going to be safe for any hedges you encounter unless that's your goal, Edward Scissorhands. This thing is, I call it the GINSU LANDSPEEDER. Do you remember the GINSU knives, the GINSU commercials? It slices through anything. The GINSU, that's what this reminds me of. And can it throw a blade? Right? So there's a couple of things I don't like about it. One, I don't know how to make this thing safer. I don't know if you can build those circular, in some video games or science fiction, you see these propellers and they're kind of inside of a donut. Right? So in case something were to happen, I'm guessing, they're housed within sort of this ring donut that, if it's going to throw a blade, it's not really going to go anywhere. I don't know if I don't know. I don't know if the blades are one solid piece. Either way, I'm worried about the thing throwing a blade. And I'm worried about just anything near and around these blades in general. Right? You definitely don't want to be sticking your hand out. So the thing scares me. And if you're not completely careful, you do see that, it can move around and get away from you. You don't want to take out your wife's favorite horse or your pets or... So again, it seems mostly safe if you're sitting here. So that, I think it's an awful lot of fun to fly. Put it back to... Still don't really see any differences between the different modes and speed. It's not significant. Again, we do see the nose go down and come back up if I go back to 1. But I don't have a readout. And if so, it seems rather negligible. I guess that is a little zippier. Oh, watch out for the trees, George. I'd say if you owned a ranch. Hey, I know somebody who owns a farm and he's got some goats. Love his videos, by the way. I love seeing the critters. I love. I grew up. I wouldn't say grew up on a farm. It wasn't a farm, but we had animals. We had a couple. I mean, we grew some of this and a little bit of that, but you know, not much. We had horses, and we had chickens, and, you know, cats and dogs. So, love myself some critters. So, you know, if you've got some land, you got to go check up on the cattle, find out where they're at. I think this would be kind of neat to have. First, for the I'm just gonna let the thing climb, see how high it'll go. It'll probably just keep going, but just that itself, being able to get your bird's eye view, to find out where your little lost lambs are, and in general just getting around. You know, I don't want to take the time to saddle the horse today. Just want to get there. Go check out a section of fence. All right, let's see if there's any other press. In partnership with Poland's GOPR, JETSON improved its speed and agility in real-life rescue trials in the Tatra Mountains, reaching remote peaks in under 4 minutes. Fully electric, ultralight, and foldable, it's designed for rapid deployment in hard-to-reach areas. Yeah, there is in the checklist, it says expand the rotors, the propellers. I don't see any controls that allow me to pull them in or retract them in any way. They've introduced an airframe parachute system. We're not squared up right. There we go. Where's that parachute? Yeah, introducing the JETSON airframe parachute system. New era of safety in personal flight. They've been putting them on other aircraft too, like the Icon A5. Beautiful. They've got Racing Series Part 2, Racing Series Part 1, Pylon Series, eVTOL Racing. Designed with safety in mind. What happens when a motor stops working? Stable flight with one motor powered down, demonstrating its advanced redundancy system. Precision, agility, fun, freestyle flight. All right. Top speed 102 miles per hour, kilometers per hour. 20-minute flight time. And again, all up weight. 86 kilograms. What is kilograms to pound? To pounds. 86 is how many pounds? 189. All right, so you can be a bit bigger of a person. 189 pounds. 189.597545 to be precise. Man, we're up in the clouds. Ooh. You don't want to be 20 minutes into your recharge time up here. Man. Meet George Jetson. Fly in the GINSU. Yeah. I'm gonna put the throttle all the way back, see how long it takes us to get down. Yeah, man, those blades scare me. Look, and they're just on those little pivot points right there. How do you feel about that? What do you think about it? Cool or GINSU? I mean, I do like the fact that it's controlled. So I believe it's still in cruise mode, and I've got the throttle all the way out, and it's just not. It doesn't shut down the engines, and it's just descending very, very slowly. I like that. See if I can get it to descend any faster. I'm taking it out of cruise. I think it would actually descend slower in a hover because you don't get that nose down action. Put the nose down using my thumb button. So we'll be going forward, but we'll be going down. Something you never want to do probably is really, the kill switch didn't kill it in the simulator, unless that's by design. I was trying to see if I could just make it kill the engine. Come on, let's get down. They're pretty high. %34 left. So you got your PC down here. I'm assuming one of them is your PC and one of them is your battery. I know I'm oversimplifying things, but basically either they're giant batteries and it's got the computer up in here, or it has very little computer. That's your Mac Mini right there. These could just be the batteries. Not much to it. Well, that's nice. On idle, it just came down. I didn't crash into anything, and it actually landed without killing us. That's great. All right. All right. So today's short and sweet. I don't really need to do much more flying around. My intention was just to show you how the thing works and fly around Africa a little bit. We did get to see some critters. So that's always nice. And also showed you how to input coordinates today. You want to find someplace in the world that doesn't have an airport nearby. How to get to your house, right? Okay. If you have any comments or questions, please leave them. I'll be happy to answer anything if I can help you with anything. If there's anything else you want to see, I'm more than happy to take care of that for you. See if I'm missing anything. Thank you. Big shout out to Goat Gaines. Big shout out to the Hustle Brothers and the Hustle Brothers Dylan, who wanted to see the Jetson. He inspired today's show. And to eVTOL Buzz and to all the fine folks at Archer Joby and Jetson now. And all my friends and family. Cheers. I will see you either later tonight with something else or tomorrow. GINSU LANDSPEEDER.